The Hornets were playing host to the Pacers. And one point in the game, I think it was late, LaMelo Ball was trying to save a ball from going out of bounds. He kind of slowed up as he got to the sidelines. But unfortunately, it looked like his right foot stepped on the foot of a fan sitting courtside.
Yeah.
And it twisted. I don't say it twisted grotesquely, but it definitely hurt.
You could see the whole ankle shift, though. Yeah.
It did not look comfortable.
No.
We were talking earlier.
And he immediately hobbled over to the bench and sat down.
Yeah. The fan proximity to the game in the NBA is truly remarkable compared to other sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sport where there's no line of delineation, right? Every other sport, the closest you can come, I think, to accessing the actual athletes is golf. But they do have the very restrictive yellow rope.
Somehow it is. Fans respect it.
But the fans respect there's no line of delineation in basketball, which is kind of remarkable anymore, isn't it?
It is, because they are so close to the baseline, right? I mean, they're like 2 feet from the baseline, maybe even closer than that. It's also a sport, when you watch it, the head coach is typically on the court. We see this in college hoops, too. It's amazing how often the coach is on the court of play at the time. There have been times I've watched and I'm screaming at the team, get off the damn floor.
Right.
Usually it's college basketball, and it's with some coach I don't like in particular. Just yell it because they don't belong there. But with the fans being that close, I'm amazed we don't see more incidents where guys get hurt because of something just like this, that they step on somebody's foot, or that maybe some fan does it on purpose and sticks their leg down or something stupid like that. That it doesn't happen that often. And I hope that this doesn't give the league impetus to change rules and maybe let's force people back even further.
I think it would have to become an epidemic. Right?
Yeah, it would, right? But, there's a lot of knee-jerk reactions. I wonder if this will be one.
I've always thought they were too close personally, but I get it because that's why those tickets cost so damn much. And that's why everyone, the owners in the league make so much money. I mean, that is some real access there, right? I guess if you're going to pay the tens of thousands or whatever, it costs to sit up there and the people that have the season tickets, they want the real atmosphere. They want everything.
If you want the Stony seats.
Yeah. But to me, the baseline ones, though, see, guys are attacking. That's how you score. You go towards the goal, right?
Yeah.
They have nowhere to land. These guys are like 6'5", 6'8", 6'10", 7 feet tall. They're not regular humans. When you go, if you haven't been to a basketball game, it sounds obvious to say basketball players are tall, but when you actually see a bunch of them running around, you're like, holy crap, these guys are tall, right?
Yeah. They're tall, and they're a lot bigger than you expect, not just height-wise, but like
everything.
Build-wise.
So, for when you're at the Lifetime Fitness or LA and you have to, you got to avoid someone who's 5'11" or whatever, that happens. A bunch of 5'11" guys running around. Bunch of 6'8" guys, and they're jumping 2, 3, 4 feet in the air, and they got to land somewhere. And they're running. Their strides are way longer. I always thought it was an injury waiting to happen, but I guess it's not going to change unless it becomes, like you said, an epidemic or something.
I mean, I feel bad for LaMelo Ball, but it's
there's no room for the coaches or the players on the bench anymore.
It's I find it very odd that we now have seating between the benches and the scorer's table. It's I guess those are great seats. They're better than where the players sit. They're closer to midcourt. I've never had the privilege of sitting in those seats. But I would expect that anybody who does, they hear some stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you're there.
You hear everything.
Everything. You're right, Doug. They added those seats in, in every arena pretty much now because they bring them so much money. I mean, you're sitting next to Dwayne Casey, basically. Yeah. You got a better seat than him.
You can't help but hear what he's saying.
At the end of the bench, when Corey Joseph tries to sit down, you're like, no, dude, that's my seat. You're back here.
Kinda.
Right?
Yes. Well, let me just. I mean, it'd be cool to sit there, but even with the media, and you get down there, and I've been down there at the Palace, I've been down there at LCA. You can catch some stuff, and it's great to hear, what they're yelling and all that. But there's the media. There's always a table. Like there's no way. There's more of a line of delineation, but the fact that a player steps on a fan's foot sucks. And gets hurt.
Yeah, that's the part that really sucks. I mean, players dive into the stands all the time, and
have you ever been near when that happened? Like, anybody ever take a dive and land near you or hit you?
I was in a Michigan State Minnesota game years ago, and part of the media runoff seats or whatever, I was on the floor behind one of the baskets, and it was when Chris Humphries was playing at Minnesota.
Yeah. Mr. Kardashian.
That's right, for 17 days or whatever it was. There were a couple plays that came our way. And this is the first time I ever noticed it, but there was a guy sitting on a chair with rollers on the chair. It was a cameraman.
Yep.
And I've never noticed that before. And that guy had to avoid a lot of stuff because he's literally right underneath the basket.